Hello and welcome back to Thinking About Star Realms. In this video, we're going to be playing Chapter 1, Mission 4 of the campaign. As always, if you have any strategy tips or think I made the wrong decision at any point, put it in the comments. In this mission, we start off with only 45 life to my opponent's 50. Also, they start with an Imperial fighter and survey ship in their starting deck, while we start with a trading post in play. So, and they also got a second survey ship as their first buy. So we are a little bit behind in terms of buying stuff. They already have 3 Star Empire cards, so they can be quite aggressive with us. Luckily, we have a Ram, Trade Pod, Blob Destroyer, and Blob Wheel, so there is a really good blob synergy we can leverage. We have 5 trade to start with, so we could definitely go for a Blob Destroyer, but I like the Ram Trade Pod combo to maybe go into the Missile Mech later, and presumably either the Blob Wheel or a Blob Destroyer is going to be available for us next turn. So buying the Ram first, in case we flip nice to cost over. Because out of the Ram and Trade Pod, I think the Ram is the more important buy. Not really keen on grabbing the Trade Pod quite yet. It is a really good early game card, but our opponent's probably going to be playing aggressive, and with the Ram Blob Destroyer, we can also go quite aggressive. So going with a weak card just for the scrap is not going to be something I'll want to do right now. Okay. So the opponent bought the Mech World. A decent card. The 6 defense outpost is nice, and the ability to activate any faction's allies is also good, but it only has Star Empire cards, and it left a Blob Destroyer on the row for us, so that will be a nice pickup, since if we ally it, it will just destroy the base for free, and if not, it will still be enough damage to break it. Also, now that we have a mothership in play, we can scrap the Ram or the Blob Wheel if we're able to get it to get the mothership. So let's start with the Destroyer. Now, we can get 1 trade from the trading post to get the trade bot, but as I said, I want to be aggressive, so I'll just take the 1 authority. Okay. Ram Trade Pod Scout is going to give us the mothership, but Trade Pod, Scout, Trading Post is a Missile Mech without getting rid of the Ram. Ram, Trade Pod, Scout, Trading Post gives us Mothership, Blob Fighter. Yeah, I think that's the play here. That way, we can discard the Scout, deal damage with the Viper. That does risk that we get a good 1-drop come out that we won't be able to afford, but the only 1-drop worth getting is another Blob Fighter, and there's only like 4 of them in the deck, and even then you might still be able to pick it up next turn. So yeah, discarding Scout here is the right play. Obviously, if you don't discard the Scout, you can use the trading post to get 1 authority, but 1 damage is generally better than 1 authority. So discard the scout, trade pod, ram, trading post, scrap the ram, get the mothership, scout blob fighter, get the viper. Yeah, I have not scrapped the trading post yet, just because the 4 defense and the potential of 1 trade is still quite good in the early game. Obviously in the late game, scrapping it for the 3 is probably the good play, and maybe we might need that 3 damage to get through the mech world. And right on cue, the mech world comes out. AI grabs the space station, which, again, with all of the Star Empire cards it's been accumulating, there's a good chance that it'll be able to use the ally ability on the space station, and the ally ability on the Imperial fighter. Also, it's already picked up the supply bot and trade bot, which does give it the scrap advantage, but the game should not come down to scrap with the amount of good cards I've been able to get. With this, that's 5 trade with the trading post, 1 short of the missile mech. But we can do scout, scout, scout for the blob wheel. And then maybe we can get the trade pod, but I think the trade pod is not that good of a buy at this point in the game. It does activate blob allies and it can give us 2 damage, but I don't think it's worth it. But let's start with the blob wheel and see where that goes. Grab the blob wheel. We can get the Federation shuttle, but I don't think it's worth it. And unfortunately, even if we scrap the trading post, we're not going to have enough damage to get through the mech world. So I might as well just take the 1 authority gain and end the turn. Nice. Got a battle blob also. We're not going to have enough damage to punch through both those outposts, so discarding the Viper here is an obvious move. Though the 3 scouts can only get us an Explorer, and the Explorer, I mean, we do have an expensive as hell market, but going for the Explorer doesn't seem like a good play here. Between the 2 outposts, the mech world does have more defense, but the space station is actually damaging us, and if it can also be scrapped for trade to get a good card, and if allied it will do 4 damage, so destroying the space station seems like the better play. Ending my turn. Grabs the patrol mech. Okay. Got a ton of trade. Play the mothership. Draws 1. Play the trade pod to draw another. Play the blob fighter to play another. Also, just a note here on how I played that. I used the trade pod to activate the mothership's ally ability. I just kind of like drawing cards 1 at a time, just in case I need to time a shuffle, or in case I want to make a decision between draws. So with what we have now, the 3 scouts give us enough for the battle blob. The recycling station is a good overall card and will fit well into the opponent's deck, but Battle Blob is just too good of a card in this deck to pass up. So that's the buy. And obviously we can scrap Blob Wheel on a future turn to get like a flagship or a missile mech, maybe a machine base, since that's just a very good card. I mean, draw, scrap, defense, that's good in every stage of the game. Yep. As I said, AI grabbed their cycling station. Solid card for it. So, Trade Pod is not the buy here, because we are going into the aggressive endgame between the machine base, which is solid, missile mech, great, flagship, great. I do like the missile mech, just because the AI seems to be accumulating a good number of bases. Mech World, their cycling station, and their space station. So getting to insta-kill a base is very good. With the Battle Cruiser, good card for the Star Empire synergy the opponent's building up. Okay. Opponent grabbed the machine base, but we have a really strong hand here. Mothership, draw, Trade Pod, ally, draw, Battle Blob, draw, got the Trading Post, we got the Scout, got the Blob Destroyer. So we have 24 damage here, 28, 31, a little bit short of Fatal. Nice. With the Blob Destroyer ability, I like to get rid of the Battle Cruiser, since that's going to fit into the opposing deck the best, and we are very unlikely to have the means to buy it ourselves. We do have a missile bot that will fit with the scrap synergy the opposing opponent has, and maybe decent for us just to have that as a late, if the game progresses much longer, thinning the deck a bit might be good. Oh, and we get another Ram, which 5 or 7 damage allied is a great pickup, so we'll grab that with a Trading Post. And if you like, a Trading Post has served its need, so we can move on from it. Okay, with 2 we can pick up a Cutter, pick up a Trade Bot, pick up an Explorer if we really want to throw the game, but it's probably not going to come to this, so let's just go for all-out aggression. Missile Bot to scrap the Scout we just tossed, Blob Fighter Viper, that's giving us the damage to get through the space station, put a bit of hurt on our opponent, and end our turn. This is where not having that ally ability hurts. Punch through the machine base. Scout, scout, scout. I suppose we can pick up the battle station just as a defense slash 5 damage. Also, just FYI, the battle station has my favorite flavor text of the game. A battle station fusion core can double as a devastating weapon once. Kind of just so thematic with the ally, as with the scrap ability. But anyways, how much damage do we have coming up? We have a ton. Yeah, that's just gonna missile mech can punch a hole through. Battle blob, mothership, ram. Yeah, we probably have enough damage that we should not come down to drawing the battle station. So just end our turn, since nothing we can buy will benefit us in any way. Here we use missile mech to destroy the mech world. Since we're going to be punching through for damage anyways, might as well destroy the highest defense outpost. Battle blob. Trade pod. I mean, that right there is already fatal. So yeah, that was Chapter 1, Mission 4. Went well. Just built up a nice blob synergy. The AI is not the smartest, and its Star Empire combo never quite materialized, but we had the advantage in that race with the starting trade realm, and we took advantage of it. So, thank you for watching. If you see a play I missed, put it in the comments. If you like the contents that I produced or think you can do better, record your own. Bye!